data science using Python. In this video, we're going to look at a two-sample t-test, also known as an A/B test. Okay, so we're going to be using the same thing we've been using before, which is this Impulsivity.xlsx file that we've been playing with. You can get it from the repository. It's linked in the description below. Hopefully you've been following along. We've been using it again and again. Okay, so what we want to do is look at two different groups and do a test between the two groups. So the first thing we need to do is first get the two groups. We'll do imp1 for differences between L and C treatments. Remember, we have several treatments here, and L is one of them, and C is the other one. So let's just do C1 first, get the data for it. Imp1 underscore df, that's the name of our data set. Imp1 is the column, and we want where imp1 $ or underscore df dot trt equals, in this case, C. This should give us all of those. L1 is basically the same thing, except I'm just going to change the C over there in the quotes to an L. So you could be way ahead of me if you're going along here, trying to follow along. All right. And here we go. These will give us our data sets real quick. And let's run all of this. Make sure it all runs. And bingo. So let's look at C1 here real quick. This is what C1 looks like. This is what L1 looks like. Bingo. We've got our data sets set up. Let's real quick just do a box plot. Just look, visually see if there are any differences between the two. Okay, that's the first one. So let's see if there's a difference between C1 and L1 before we actually do the hypothesis test on it. So let me just run this one real quick, just a real one line. We're not going to put all the pictures or the pieces on it, but you can see the means look to be in about the same place, but maybe we'll see that and maybe we won't. All right, so let's set ourselves up. So we want to do a hypothesis test. Our goal is to test H0. Well, let's first define things. Mu1 is the how about we do mu C1 is equal to the mean, or the population mean, of treatment C1, which is, I think, the control. Mu L1 is the population mean of treatment L1. And we're interested in our hypothesis. H0 is, let's see here, mu C1 equals mu L1. Okay, and the alternative in this case is they're not equal to each other for right now. So equals / equals mu L1. Okay, so this gets our setup. So we need a significance level. And let's choose alpha, I don't know, equals 0.0019. Why? Because we can, and number two, 0.05 is ridiculous for the most part. People use it, but I'm not a big fan of it. Our test statistic, we're just going to put in here that we are going to use sci pi stats. And our function that we're going to actually use is going to be t-test underscore ind. Okay, that way we know what we're going to do. We're going to have a decision rule, which is if the p-value is less than alpha, we reject H0. And now we can actually conduct our test, so we can do an execute idea. So here, let's type this in here. So we're going to get st, which is our SciPy stats. That's what we aliased it as up here. And we're going to type in here t-test. Let's see if I can type it. ind c1 l1 equal var equals false. Okay, we're not assuming equal variance here. We're going to run this real quick and see what happens. Something should happen. And Bingo. So it gives us the test statistic and it gives us the p-value. So here we go. Our t-value is equal to this number, and it has a whole bunch of decimals. We don't need all of them. Just grab a few of them to give people an idea of the magnitude. And our p-value, in this case, is equal to this other number. If I can type it. I can't type today. Fat fingers are acting up. Okay, so this is the number we're interested in here. So we'll paste that here. And then we just do a comparison. So we can do a decision. If I can type it. Since the p-value equals that last number we had here, which is clearly greater than 0.019, if I can type it, equal to alpha, we fail to reject H naught. And then we have a conclusion. We have insufficient evidence to claim that treatment C1 and L1 differ. I'll put it over here. Differ for IMP1. Okay, that's what we have in the population. So we're interested in whether the treatments work, and it does not produce a difference in the means. So that the treatments, okay, differ or produce a different mean. Produce different means for IMP1. Now, that doesn't say anything about the other two, which you could go and try. All right, so we're going to stop here because we're up to 7 minutes, and my fat finger syndrome seems to make things run even longer. So in the next video, we'll start looking at other forms of inference so that you can do even more tests. So see you there.